I feel like everybody's going into year 3 feeling real good about where the Philadelphia Eagles are. I know I am.
I think the guys that stay in this game a long time and have great success are progression readers, and they run at the end. Their last option is to run and break the pocket.
I think Jalen Hurts is much more than just an athlete, so to speak. I think the athlete term is being overused again when it comes to quarterbacks who have mobility.
The one thing that you've got there is a guy that's willing to work hard, and he wants to be great. I mean, that's what he wants.
Jalen Hurts is doing his thing. I support him 100%. Called him up and encouraged him at the end of the season.
So did you guys honestly think we were just going to leave it at the chemistry video between A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts? We got a lot to talk about, ladies and gentlemen. Batting leadoff on this discussion for us tonight is my guy 500.
Hey, yo, Philly 500 is my name. Double moonwalking is my game. And if you don't know me by my name, Philly 500, you may recognize me by my world-famous name, Denzel Washington. Or as the Italians like to say, Denzel Washingtino. Now, when it comes to Jalen Hurts, not only does he have the makings of a varsity athlete, he has the makings of potentially being a franchise quarterback. And not just any franchise quarterback, but the franchise quarterback of the Philadelphia Eagles. Because let's face it, to be the franchise quarterback in Philly is on a whole different level than anywhere else in the National Football League. Sure, you have to have all the same characteristics of other franchise quarterbacks, but you have to have so much more as well. You have to have so much more. You have to be mentally tough, physically tough, and you have to be a leader. And so far, Jalen Hurts has done nothing but prove that's exactly what he is.
I'm sure you've seen the news recently, right? Jalen Hurts is ranked below this player. Jalen Hurts is ranked ahead of this player. Jalen Hurts is making improvements. Jalen Hurts still can't get his footwork correctly. Jalen Hurts is not an NFL quarterback. Jalen Hurts is going to make the next step. There's been enough news coverage to make you go crazy. I'm afforded the opportunity to receive a lot of feedback and a lot of people's thoughts about players on this team. Both good, both bad. And I get comments all the time such as, he's been a quarterback most of his life and still doesn't show elite passing skills. I certainly understand the frustration. I get what they're saying that, hey, you know, we're going into the third year. He's still learning some of the basic fundamentals of playing the quarterback position. I get it. Hey, man, there's levels to this thing. There's levels to this thing. I got to really go back to when Jalen Hurts' father took over China football program. It was like 2009. Guys, in the 5 seasons that his dad was head coach before Jalen Hurts became the starting quarterback on the varsity team, the team was 12-38. 12-38. It was not very good. I'm trying to be polite here. Just because, hey man, there's still good football players even on really bad teams. But they were 12-38. In the 2 seasons that Jalen Hurts was there, they went 14-8. He got named to some accolades inside of Texas 5A football. They beat their crosstown rivals, who's a pretty successful program there in North Shore High for the first time in a very, very long time, 49-48, back in 2014. Context matters, and sometimes I feel like people leave context out of these posts, which I think makes Jalen Hurts kind of the Philly 500's point. It makes him such a good cultural fit for Philly. He didn't come from a prestigious program, okay? He didn't have all the accolades. He didn't have all this other stuff that was coming along with it. He played on a team where he was clearly the best player on it, and he was elevating that team's play to quite a degree, as we can see from the subsequent years that were before him. And then basically what came after him. So, I mean, I get it, man. To me, he fits that underdog role so well. But here to talk about building something like this, I'm talking to Mr. Hurts season himself. I got Mr. LB right here to talk about the formation of Hurts season.
I like fighters. You know, it's as simple as that. I like the underestimated guy, you know. Everybody's a little underestimated at times in their lives. You know what I mean? And the way Jalen Hurts was underestimated at the collegiate level, and the way he bounced back and proved everybody wrong so far, and proved a lot of naysayers wrong, just showed me the strength that the kid got inside. So, he had to bounce back after being benched at Alabama. Had to prove he could be a starter at the collegiate level. After he went to OU, he's proven that. He had to bounce back after not being drafted in the first round after being a Heisman finalist. Get drafted in the second round, ultimately take over that starting job from a then franchise quarterback in Carson Wentz. So the story of Hurts season and how I started the movement makes no secret. It's not really, rocket science behind it. It's more like a staple of bouncing back. Either the season going to hurt or we're going to make some people hurt. And it's all because of Jalen Hurts. So, yeah, that's how I was feeling when I did that. So, shout out to everybody that support the movement.
Quite often I also hear feedback such as, he came from 2 top college programs, coached by Lincoln Riley and Nick Saban, and yet he still can't throw with anticipation. Sure, those are great programs in Alabama and Oklahoma. Historically great football programs. But you got to talk about the context here, guys. Before Jalen Hurts, what did Alabama produce at the quarterback position? Brody Croyle in 2006, Greg McElroy in 2011, A.J. McCarron in 2014. I mean, come on now. Let's be serious here. In terms of looking at a guy like Lincoln Riley, before Baker Mayfield got there at Oklahoma, I mean, his quarterbacks put up some pretty big numbers at ECU underneath Ruffin McNeil. And then, obviously with Lincoln Riley being the offensive coordinator at ECU, I mean, Shane Carden put up crazy numbers at ECU, no doubt about it. All of his quarterbacks are quite productive. They're not necessarily translating easily to the NFL, and I still think there's time for these guys to get their feet under them and become very good football players. But let's call a spade a spade. Let's take a look at that NFL list, guys. What are we talking about? Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Tua, and then Mac Jones. Only one of these guys has even won a single playoff game. I mean, the pedigree is not there, and yet people are treating it like these 2 guys have produced Drew Breeses, Tom Brady's, any legitimate top-tier quarterback. Neither of these guys have produced that. As a matter of fact, I would argue that while Lincoln Riley's system has been implemented into small extent into the NFL now, it's the very thing that causes these guys to struggle, because it is a lot of one-read progression RPO stuff. It is a lot of kind of high-low concepts, and then at best floods if you're 3-read progressions. You can maybe flood a side of the field, run flood. I'm just saying, sometimes context gets left out. I recently saw a video from my guy Philly Mike, where he was talking about kind of like the progression and development and why he thinks this is going to be a successful season for Jalen Hurts. So I decided to reach out to Mike and just see if you couldn't expand upon that for the channel for us here, guys. So without further ado, here's Philly Mike.
So Gate City hit me up asking what is my viewpoint of Jalen Hurts entering the 2022 NFL season. I go by Philly Mike, host of the Philly Talk podcast, and we are here to get my view on Jalen Hurts, which is I got high expectations. We know what he needed to work on. So did he, and that's exactly what was reported in the offseason, working with Tom House, getting his mechanics right, working on his throw motion, and just, putting everything together. But my biggest thing is him understanding the system, or at least telling us that. What did he speak about at the end of OTAs? He feels so much more comfortable being in the system for the second straight year. Same play caller, same system. He's going to have more to say at the line of scrimmage. What did Todd Bowles say? He can't read a defense. What has he been working on? According to Jalen Hurts, learning the playbook to be able to know what he got pre-snap, see what the defense is giving him, and pre-snap decide where he's going with the ball. Dallas Goedert, Nick Sirianni both said he looks more accurate. The ball looks more crispy. Dallas Goedert said he has less of a hitch. He's decisive, and that all comes with time, understanding the system.
In this next segment, I'm going to talk to some high-level athletes, a few of my friends that I've met through my time making these videos that play collegiately, and are going to kind of stress upon their viewpoint about how you handle the pressures of a situation. Mind you, none of us know what Jalen Hurts has gone through. None of us know the internal battles that Jalen Hurts goes through. But we all know, if you played at a certain level, we all know what it's like to be criticized and be criticized by complete strangers. We know what it's like to be interrupted at the grocery store, at a restaurant, people just speaking their minds to you, not realizing you're a human being. So I invited a few guys just to kind of stress their opinion about how do you take on that type of criticism and just kind of keep moving it forward. So first up is my friend Caleb, former center from the University of Charleston Southern. Hey, man, the offensive line guru himself.
Hey, how you guys doing today? This is Dub, the O-line guru, checking in with you. And I had a question asked me today. The question was, how do athletes, the higher up they go, how are they able to block out some of that noise and some of that criticism in order to still play at a high level? Well, you know, as an athlete, since a young age, you're always being criticized and critiqued on ways to become a better ball player. So you're kind of used to it. But the higher up you go, it's more noise. There's going to be a lot more media and a lot more fans because you know you're a professional now. There's people all over the globe watching you. And the number one thing that you have to do is be able to tune that noise out. They're not in the locker room with you. They're not sweating and grinding with you. You got to be able to tune that noise out because the only thing you need to stay focused on are the people working with you and the people that have the knowledge of what you're doing. Now, as for teammates and coaches and things of that nature, you kind of got to be able to chew the meat and spit out the bones because those are the people that really love you. They know what you're doing, and they want to see you be successful for the team and for yourself as well. So, hey, man, here's Dub, the O-line guru, checking out. That's the gym for you.
Next up is former Virginia State University left guard Jalen Williams to tell us his thoughts on how do you handle critique, criticism, all these things that kind of come at you as an athlete.
All your life you were told how good you were. You're going to make it. We're rooting for you. We're proud of you. Then one day, you actually make it. By the grace of God, you've entered the promised land. There's a honeymoon feeling of where you feel like you're on top of the world. You've done it. You've finished. I can finally take a breath. But it's only the beginning. That first step, your world gets turned upside down. Every move you make is being analyzed, critiqued. Some people say it's right, some people say it's wrong. Who knows? But at the end of the day, you have to keep moving forward because that's what life is about. It's about how you respond. Are you going to keep the main thing the main thing? Are you going to keep your star player the star player? And most important of all, are you going to control what you can control? As long as you make those things the main thing, hey, live with the result.
Next up is NFL hopeful and former Texas Wesleyan quarterback Justin Arth to give us a little insight about what it's like dealing with all the noise and trying to block that out while moving forward as an athlete.
What's up, guys? Justin Arth here to answer some of the questions that was sent over. So Steve, you can go ahead and make some cuts in this because we'll definitely probably need to make some cuts. But yeah, so how do athletes tune out the outside noise to get to an internal place within themselves? I mean, a lot of that's going to be different for every athlete and every quarterback in particular. There's some guys that care, they're extremely smart and they care a little too much about what their coaches or what their staff or what the fans think because they need that validation. So it's really going to be different with every athlete, and then there's others that are really good at being able to tune out everything, and hey, I only give a crap about what I do. And so if we talk about off the field, a lot of athletes block the haters that are constantly coming at you all the time, saying this, saying that about you. But usually us athletes can handle criticism on the field. Like, oh, hey, you didn't make this read correctly, whatever. A lot of us won't respond to it if we see it, but we'll take it and internalize it and help it to make us better if we truly feel like there's a flaw. But in terms of the people that just go out and continue to hate on your character and all that, no, we block those guys and we kick them to the curb and we don't care about them because those people aren't true fans.
Did I forget to mention I have one more special guest? Hey, EROCK, what's your thoughts on Jalen Hurts, my guy?
Jalen Hurts strikes me as the kind of quarterback that Philadelphia wants to love. You know what I mean? They loved Randall. They loved McNabb. They love a dynamic playmaker that can extend the play and be electric and take the league by storm by using his arm and his legs. They want a quarterback with the kind of cool head, somebody who's not going to blame other people, somebody who's going to be the leader, somebody who's going to take up and accept responsibility. Philadelphia wants to love a guy like Jalen Hurts' play on the field and off the field. His demeanor and his actions and his composure and his maturity and all of that. But for some reason, Philadelphia doesn't love him all the way. And I think this year, him working on the things that he needs to work on, specifically the weaknesses, while getting better at his strengths, I think he has an opportunity in front of him to really take charge of this team and become like exactly what I said in the beginning, to circle back around. Philadelphia wants to fall in love with a quarterback like Jalen Hurts. He just has to prove it to them.
Let's get to some more common comments that I receive here as a content creator about Jalen Hurts. Number one thing I always hear, this is a constant, he doesn't have a strong enough arm. I'm going to counter back as someone who's played quarterback and has coached quarterbacks is it that he doesn't have a strong enough arm, or was his mechanics flawed? Because I tend to lead towards the mechanics were flawed. And if you iron out those mechanical issues, he's perfectly fine. He's got plenty of arm strength here. He ranked number 4 in terms of attempt percentage above 20 yards. Clearly, he's got the arm strength here. Second thing I hear a lot of, he can't read coverage. You didn't hear Tampa Bay's coaching staff saying he can't read coverage? 100%, man. He was struggling with it. There's no doubt about that, right? He's coming out of these systems from college, these spread concepts, where there was a lot of RPO-based, kind of easy concepts here. One read progression type stuff or high-low stuff. Of course, he's got a lot of work to do there. He also went down to go work with Tom House, Adam Dado, and the 3D QB team. We'll see. I mean, he's putting in the work. He's putting in the effort. A lot of guys make these jumps. It takes time. We'll see how it works out. I think he's going to do quite well this year. The third thing I'll hear is, he'll never be Josh Allen. He just doesn't have the arm talent that Josh Allen does. Yeah, name me the quarterback that does. Josh Allen's a different physically gifted guy. You don't have to be Josh Allen. You don't have to be Patrick Mahomes. You don't have to be Aaron Rodgers. You need to be Jalen Hurts. I don't understand this whole compliment, because let me tell you something, guys. Josh Allen wasn't Josh Allen until year 3, when mysteriously Josh Allen received one heck of a summer because they got Stephon Diggs, and then he drafted Gabriel Davis. And all of a sudden, Josh Allen was Josh Allen. Step in A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. Let's see if Jalen Hurts becomes Jalen Hurts, because I got a really good feeling about this offense coming up here. All right, y'all, if you've made it this far in the video, come on, guys. Whether you agree with my point or you don't agree with my point, you clearly enjoyed the content. Hit the like button. Hit that subscribe button, guys. I'd love to add you to the community. Just cross over 5,000. We're heading towards 10,000. Love for you to be part of that equation. Hey, come on, man. You all know you're entertained. Don't lie to me. You know you're entertained. You know you're coming back for that video next year, right? Because you either going to get one or two things here. You're going to get the I Told You So tour. And you know you guys are loving that video. Because as commentators, what is it? You guys don't have to worry about that. It's just funny to watch. Or you're going to get the, yeah, I messed up. You know you're going to be entertained by either video. Doesn't matter which way it goes. You're going to be entertained. All right, y'all. I appreciate you guys. I'll see y'all in the next video.